Hi, everyone. My name is Brittany Williams, and I'm the founder of Legacy Tutoring. I have over 10 years of experience in education, but I'm not just an educator, I'm also an expert in psychology. This means I don't just teach math, I understand how the mind works, how fear blocks learning, and how to actually break through the barriers that keep kids stuck. And my favorite subject, hands down, is math. Before we dive in, do me a favor. If you're getting value from this live, share it with another parent who's watching their child struggle right now. They need to hear this too. Welcome to this live. Today we're talking about the 5 reasons why your child may be failing math in middle school. And here's the thing. We're here heading into state test prep season. March March is here, and if your child is struggling now, the pressure is about to get worse. In this live, you're going to understand exactly why traditional approaches haven't worked yet and what's actually going on with your child. And if you want personalized help figuring out how to turn this around for your child specifically, I'll share how you can book a strategy session with me at the end. So, let's talk about what's really happening. One of the things that might be blocking your child from doing well in school is a lack of customized instruction. Your child is sitting in a classroom with 25 to 30 other students. The teacher is doing their best, but they're teaching to the middle. They have to. There's not enough time to personalize the instruction for every single child's unique learning style. So your child gets the same lesson, the same pace, the same explanations as everyone else, even though they don't learn the same way as everything else. And so then here's what happens next. Because your child didn't get the customized instruction they needed, they didn't fully master certain foundational skills. Maybe it was fractions in fifth grade, maybe it was negative numbers in sixth grade, but they moved on to the next grade level anyway, and now they're building on a foundation that has cracks in it. Every year, those gaps get bigger, and every year, math gets harder because it builds on what came before. So now they're in eighth or seventh grade and they're supposed to understand algebra when they never fully understood fractions. They're trying to solve for x when they still are on shaky ground with basic operations like addition and subtraction. And that leads to the next problem. Math anxiety starts to take over. Now your child is confused and they feel left behind. They're smart and they know they're smart, but they look around the classroom and it seems like everyone else gets it except for them. They start to believe they're just bad at math, and this creates fear and anxiety. Math anxiety, it's real. It's not just frustration, it's a psychological block that literally shuts down their ability to think clearly. Their heart races, they freeze, they can't access what they know because fear is blocking it. And this is where things get really hard. You sit down with your child to help them with their homework and it turns into a fight. They shut down, they cry, they say they hate math and that they're just not a math person. They refuse to even try because of the anxiety. And you're frustrated because you're trying to help, but nothing say seems to help them to get through it. You understand why they you don't understand why they just can't focus and do their work. But here's what's really happening. Even when they take notes in class, even when they try their best to pay attention, the feelings that they have about math are so overwhelming that they can't even study. The emotional weight is blocking their ability to learn. And here's the part that breaks my heart. You feel like you've tried everything. So maybe in the past, you've hired someone to come to your house to tutor your child, or maybe you even signed them up for an after school program or an online learning platform, or even a learning center, and it didn't work. You know why? Because not all tutoring is customized to your child's psychology. It wasn't designed around their unique learning style. It was the same one size fits all approach they're getting in school, just with fewer students or maybe even one on one. If tutoring doesn't address the foundational gaps, the math anxiety, and the emotional blocks that are keeping your child stuck, it will not work, period. And this is why parents come to me and say, we've tried everything, but you haven't tried a program that's built around your child's psychology, their unique personality, and that's designed to fill in the gaps and eliminate their anxiety that they're feeling around math, including rebuilding their confidence from the ground up. Another thing to consider is that most educational programs don't take the time to build a relationship with your child and get to know what they like, dislike, and what their personality is like. I learned firsthand when teaching overall, but especially when teaching middle schoolers that relationship is key. Let me share something with you. My first year teaching middle school was actually the 2019-2020 school year. Yes, the year of the pandemic. I was teaching sixth, seventh, and eighth grade math all at the same time. But the students that stuck out to me the most were my eighth grade students, especially the girls. One girl in particular stood out to me. Her name was Maya. I mean, let's call her name Maya. I'm keeping names anonymous. Maya's mom pulled me aside one day. Maya's mom pulled me aside one day after class in the beginning of the school year, and she said something that I would never forget. She said, "This is the first time my daughter has ever felt confident in math in her entire educational career." And to think about that was a little bit heartbreaking. Kindergarten through eighth grade, and then eighth grade was the first time she ever felt confident. It was not just about the math that I taught her, it was about the relationship with that I built with her and the other girls in the classroom. It was about the way I made her know that just because she was a girl did not mean that she wasn't good at math. No one had actually taught her how her brain works. No one addressed the gaps. No one dealt with her anxiety. No one customized the instruction to fit her. And once I did, everything changed. That's probably what's possible for your child as well. Another story that comes to mind is another student. I'll call him John. I had been teaching him in a way that I had been told by the school I was working for to teach him. One day I decided to try a different strategy just to see if it would work for him. And after weeks of showing him the recommended strategy by the school, I tried a new strategy. And the very next day, after practicing, he was able to finally do the math on his own. And I never forget the confidence that he had when he was able to show me how to do it on his own after just one day. This is the kind of confidence that I'm able to work with students and to pull out after years of them struggling with math. If your child is struggling right now with math, here's what you need to understand. It's not because they're just bad at math, and it's not because they're not trying hard enough, and it's not because there's nothing that you can do. It's because they haven't had instruction that's customized to their unique learning style and psychology. And with state tests coming up and with tests around the corner, the pressure is only going to increase. If we don't address this now, the gap is going to get even wider. This is where my program, the Math Champions Club, comes in. The Math Champions Club is a program that I've designed based on over a decade of experience in the classroom. It's a program that helps students to get to know themselves on a deeper level, not just so they can do better in math and solve math problems, but so that they're able to learn the skills to solve problems in life overall. I've created this customized program specifically designed for middle school students who are struggling with math. This isn't just another generic tutoring service. This is a psychology based approach that addresses the foundational gaps, eliminates the anxiety, and rebuilds confidence from the ground up. Here's what makes this different. First, we start with a full assessment of where your child actually is, not just what grade they're in, but where the gaps are in their foundation, because you can't fix what you don't identify. Second, we create a customized learning plan designed specifically for how your child's brain works, not a one size fits all curriculum, a plan around their unique learning style and psychology. Third, we address the emotional blocks because if your child is afraid of math or anxious as they're doing the math, they won't learn, no matter how good the instruction is. We work on mindset, confidence, and eliminating the anxiety that's been holding them back. And fourth, you get ongoing support and communication. You're not left wondering what's happening. You know exactly where your child is and what we're working on and what progress they're making. But here's what you need to ask yourself. What's it worth to watch your child walk into class confident instead of afraid? What's it worth to eliminate homework battles and see them actually enjoy learning, especially learning math? What's it worth to you to know they'll be prepared for high school, college, and beyond? Because that's what this program delivers. Now, I don't work with every family that reaches out. This program is deeply customized, which means I can only take a limited number of students at a time. So here's what happens next. If you're serious about helping a child finally feel confident in math, the first step is to book a strategy session with me. This is a 30-minute call where I'm going to ask you about your child, understand their personality and what's going on, and give you a clear strategy for moving forward. This is a conversation. You'll walk away with clarity on what's happening with your child and what needs to happen next, whether you work with me or not. But if we're a good fit, I will explain how exactly the program works, what you can expect, and how we'll customize for your child. The link to book is in the description below if you're watching the replay, and you can type sorry. You can type Math Champions Club in the chat if you are watching live. Once again, the link to book is below. Spots are limited. I can only take a few new students each month. Thank you so much for being here. If this resonated with you, share it with another parent that needs to hear it. Your child doesn't have to struggle anymore. There's a path forward, and I'm here to help you walk it. I'll see you in the Math Champions Club strategy session. Talk to you soon.